Hey folks, welcome back or welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the very first time if you're brand new here, and as I always say, thank you so much for joining me for today's pick a card reading on an exciting topic. We're asking, what are you manifesting soon, aka what is the universe pushing into your life soon? So quite straightforward, let's get to choosing our piles. Calling on Spirit, please guide us to the right cards to choose our piles with. Okay, there's pile number 1. Here's pile number 2. And there's pile number 3. Let's unveil them together. So for pile 1 over here on the left, your pile leader is Restore and Replenish, number 38, if you're interested in the number. Very beautiful imagery there. Everyone needs more healing, of course, right? Pile number 2, your leader is She Feels, She Knows, number 22. And last but not least, for our wonderful pile number 3 here on the right, your leader today is Beyond the Mind, the Heart Beats, or number 21. So a quick refresher, pile 1, Restore and Replenish. Pile 2, She Feels, She Knows. And pile 3, Beyond the Mind, the Heart Beats. Though as I always say, you're welcome to pause on this part of the reading if you need more time to decide what pile you would like read for you. If you're new to pick a card readings, I always suggest just to go with your best intuition. So look at all 3 different cards and feel down in your gut what feels right when you look at it. You'll know it, I promise. But whatever your method of choosing, you can even just choose on what looks the coolest. You can drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment beneath the video. Find the timestamp for your pile, and I'll see you in our chat about what you're manifesting soon from the universe. See you in your reading. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about what you're manifesting next. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to Restore and Replenish as your pile leader today. So this card's message is quite straightforward. As we see, someone is resting. She is almost in a period of hibernation, maybe after a time of a lot of chaos. So I almost wonder, pile 1, just even with this first card, if maybe you've been going through a time of chaos or a lot of tumultuousness, and it's like you've been asking the universe, please send some peace my way. Please send some healing my way. I just need to, almost like a bear, hide in my cave and not have to deal with all this chaos for a while. So I think part of, what you're manifesting is that time, is that hibernation from whatever's been going on. Of course, we'll see more context with the tarot spread I'm about to draw, but that is what I'm hearing right off the bat, as I said, in terms of what's coming forward for you. So, speaking of, let's draw said tarot cards. Calling on Spirit, if you could please give us more context as well as where this is all going, what's manifesting here. Also, the how is also important to know. Okay. There we go. Let's unveil the first card together. So pile 1, we have the 7 of Pentacles as your inciting incident card. I like to call the first one. And the 7 of Pentacles here, as evidenced by the way we have someone looking at some plants. He's been, tilling the fields around. He's been nurturing. The 7 of Pentacles is often about planting seeds for the future. It's getting projects started. It's getting things off of the ground. So being the inciting incident card, pile 1, I almost wonder if a lot of this chaos and stress has been surrounding about like getting a project off of the ground. I don't know if maybe some of you have been starting a new venture, starting a new business, especially being a Pentacles card. That is the Earth suit in tarot, and that tends to deal with things like finances, career, and though sometimes I also read it for health and home as well. So maybe it's even a new project at home. Maybe you're building a home of some sort, or like building a new building around your property, or maybe you're even starting a new project in terms of creativity, in terms of a project at work, whatever it might be. This is where this manifestation is stemming from. So I think especially if you've been having a lot of stress regarding something along those lines, this is where things are going to get better. But let's see the other cards, of course, for even more understanding of what's going on. So the second card is, we have another Pentacles, but we have the 8 of Pentacles reversed as the recent past card. And the 8 of Pentacles reversed, pile 1, is sometimes it can mean needing to work harder, but sometimes it can also mean I've been working my butt off and I'm not getting the fruits of my labor out of what I've been working hard on. Now, it's not quite to the point of full culmination like the Nine of Pentacles would be. It's still very much so, you know, a card of being in the process of something, almost like this, kind of looks like a blacksmith's apprentice, right? Forging something with a chisel, working so hard on all of these, doing a lot of repeated effort. So I don't know if, like, maybe part of the chaos is you've had to repeat some things, maybe you've had to take, you know, 2 steps forward, 1 step back all the time, or I suppose it's vice versa, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Excuse me for that. But I think that's where the stress is coming from. You're like, I'm trying so dang hard to get this off the ground and get this going. When is this going to finally come to a rest? When am I going to start seeing some success? So I think that's part of what's manifesting as well, is finally seeing some of the fruits of your labor, which of course, you know, while you're in the thick of it, pile 1, it's always hard to feel like you can keep going. It's always hard to feel like it's all worth it, because you're right in kind of the fog of creation. You're in the fog of being nose to the grindstone. We don't always kind of see the end. I mean, we can picture and we can dream and be like, oh, this is my goal, this is what I want. But when we're in this energy of an 8 of Pentacles reversed, it's like, man, is this going to be all worth it? Are we going to see improvement here and progress? Things like that, okay? So that's the recent past. Now, in the heart of the matter, or the present energy, we have the 6 of Cups reversed. Interesting. So if we finally have a Cups, which in tarot tends to represent the suit of emotions and feelings and our relationships with other people. Now, the 6 of Cups tends to represent nostalgia, things for the past. We have 2 siblings here. It is the card of childhood. It's the card of, you know, things from a long time ago, and especially reversed, pile 1. I almost wonder if this is a dream that you've had since childhood, or it could also mean that there's some element here where family has started to get involved in the present. I don't know if maybe you feel like family has impeding your progress. Maybe that's part of it, especially with the 6 of Cups being reversed, which is kind of like a negative side of the past, or a negative side of childhood relations, okay? It could also mean that maybe there's your own problems from the past that are cropping up that are making things a lot more difficult, like maybe insecurity about previous projects that you've tried to get off the ground and didn't work out. It could also be, you know, issues from childhood in terms of feeling confident in yourself, self-esteem and things like that, that maybe you haven't necessarily like worked on. And so, you know, a lot of the way we power through to our goals and our dreams, pile 1, is often based on these different matters from childhood, like, you know, how good were our parents at encouraging us? How good were we at building our own self-esteem and whatnot? And, you know, a lot of people struggle with that, pile 1. So, number 1, you're 100% not alone. But number 2, very, very, very common and very understandable as to why that might be cropping up now. And maybe you're just finally realizing it, hence why it's in the present position. In the heart of the matter, you're like, well, wait a minute. Maybe it's not that I'm not working hard enough. Maybe it's that I just don't feel confident enough in all the work that I've already put in, okay? Maybe you base a lot of your success on, like, outside validation, or, like, more, like, outside kind of criteria, like, well, how much money am I making, or how much praise am I getting from other people, okay? So, you know, don't worry. I think you're going to see manifestations in this area on those outside criteria, because there is so much, like, business and finance-related cards in the beginning here with all the pentacles, but I almost wonder if the manifestation might also come in the package of internal validation in terms of having confidence in yourself, which will also, that's just adding more rocket fuel to propel you into the future to do even more things, to be even more successful in the future. So let's look at the near future card. We have Strength reversed. And in this kind of reading, I tend to read, because it's kind of like my blessing readings, reversals in the future positions here are the things that are going to improve. Okay, so number 1 of your manifestation here is something's going to happen where you're going to feel more confident, because right now the strength is reversed. And a strength reversed, pile 1, is exactly what I was just talking about. You feel like you lack strength, you feel like you lack the courage to do something, or you feel like you lack the ability or the skill or the willpower, etc. Insert, you know, different thing here. Whatever you feel is holding you back. It's like you feel like, I don't have the strength for this. I don't feel like I'm good enough for this. That's going to change, and something's going to happen that's going to completely shift your perspective on that. And by shifting your perspective, sometimes even that can just harbor in a manifestation of sorts. It's just the way you view things, okay? So let's get the context, too, of the final outcome card. We have, interesting, the Devil. We have another major arcana. And the Devil is oftentimes about the things that hold us back. We have two figures here. You can see almost like Adam and Eve. Beneath the figure of the devil, there are chains, right? They're chained. I call it oftentimes to the jail cell card because of that. It's about not, it can be external things that hold us back, right? But it can also be internal toxic patterns, or it can be internal things, like I was saying, maybe self-esteem, maybe courage, things like that. Lack of belief in self that can really make us feel like we don't deserve success, or it makes us feel like we're not good enough to get there. As I said, very common problem, okay? And so I think it's like the culmination of this, the very outcome is, yes, technically it looks negative on the surface because it is the devil card, and like I said, that's the card of feeling held back or chained in some way, but with strength reversed having come right before it, it's like you're going to finally gain that strength to break those chains of what's been holding you back. So really, pile number 1, this is going to sound odd, but the manifestation that's coming your way isn't so much the external things that you're looking for. It's the internal things that you need to act as the key to open the door to what you're looking for on the outside. Okay, so for example, this might not apply to all of you, but I'll just use one for the purposes of explaining what I mean. So number 1, say you lack confidence in your work. You started a new business and you're like, well, I'm pretty sure I'm doing well, but I'm not seeing the sales that I want. Maybe I'm worse than I thought. Maybe I'm not good enough. Okay, once you see that manifestation that changes your perspective on yourself, on your ability and your self-esteem, that is going to be the key that unlocks that jail cell of the devil, not only for you feeling better and resting from this chaos of lack of self-belief, right? It's going to be the door that opens to the success on the other side that you are looking for. It's almost one of those situations in life where it's like you think in order to get more confidence, you need more of that external validation, but sometimes the universe pulls a little rug pull on us, right? Where we don't get that external validation until we believe in the very thing that we think we need that external validation to believe in. Does that kind of make sense? I know that was a little bit rambly, but it's very odd. We think it's the key, but really the key is something else to get the thing that we think is the key. All right. So, of course, extrapolate that to your particular situation, as I always say with my readings. But let's look at some of your other cards, pile 1. Let's get some more context on how it manifests, as well as kind of what's going to manifest. But right now, just to summarize everything, it's like success riding on the back of understanding your own worth. And understanding your own worth being the key to that. So we have, look at that, the stars, which is all about our goals. Very fitting for a reading like this, pile 1. Then we have the owls, which is all about communication, or well, sometimes, most Lenormand, it's birds. So communication about your goals. And the key, look at that, pile 1. Remember I was like, there's so much here about opening doors and keys, and you literally got the key card in Lenormand. Okay, how fitting. So reading this all in kind of one sentence, as we typically do with traditional Lenormand reading, I would say Spirit is saying your goals communicate the key. Your hopes and your dreams and your goals speak of the key. I almost wonder, pile 1, if you haven't reminded yourself in a while why you're actually trying to get this thing accomplished. Because there's something about this key in terms of unlocking your belief in self, or whatever the strength is that you've been lacking, metaphorically speaking, that it's like once you... Or what's a better way to explain that? One moment, pile 1. It's like in realizing what you're actually doing this for, that will remind you of your strength. And that will be the key to unlocking the jail cell, so to speak. So, okay, just to summarize that, ask yourself, why am I doing this? What is my main goal behind the tangible goal? What is my actual hope or dream behind this? Is it to support your family better or support yourself better? Is it to improve the world in some way? Is it to provide something that hasn't been done before? Whatever your goal particularly is with this that you've been worried about lately, pile 1, remind yourself why you did it in the first place. Okay, now let's look at your other cards. We'll have the Woodland Wardens here as the next Oracle deck. Okay, let's draw. we have the Hare and the Oak. New opportunities. Interesting. The Hare and the Oak. New opportunities. You know, pile 1, I wonder if there is a new opportunity coming along with whatever this goal is of yours that will be a chance or, well, opportunity for you to see your own strength. I think maybe that's part of what will communicate that goal as well, or will remind you of that goal. And it's something that you can base more of your confidence with this goal on. Let's look at the last Oracle deck before I say anything conclusive, though, because I want to make sure with all of the context what this is about. Okay, let's draw the last card here. Let's see. Teamwork. You know, it's interesting because I didn't mention this before, but the number with your Woodland Wardens Oracle is 3, and you also have 33 here in the key. And at least in tarot, 3 tends to speak of, like, I'm really drawn to the 3 of Pentacles, which you didn't technically get with your reading. You did get a lot of other Pentacles, but the 3 of Pentacles is often to do with teamwork. And then go fitting, you know, or very fittingly, you have the teamwork card number 16 with your Spirit Guide Oracle. So I think almost that there might be someone that comes to help you as well, or part of your advice from the universe to manifesting this thing is to rely on someone else or like get a team together to help with this. And I think that's where this new opportunity comes from as well. So it's not, I mean, on top of something that, like you have to do like some internal work before it manifests for you. I think part of the work, pile 1, is also working with other people. But, you know, there's also a benefit in that, or like a relief in that if you have multiple people working on the same problem, pile 1, that relieves more burden off of your back as well. Like oftentimes, you know, when we're really independent type of people, or really like, you know, I want to be a go-getter. I don't need anyone. I don't want to be a burden on anyone. That's oftentimes like the reason why people are very independent and don't want to rely on others. Okay. Because they feel like, oh, I'm a burden if I do. Sometimes when we rely on other people, it not only opens up a whole new world to them to prove to you their responsibility, which helps build their confidence as well. Okay. It also, where was I going with that? 1 second, pile 1. I mean, I keep being drawn back to thinking like it would relieve a burden off of you. And I think too, maybe that's where the rest and, or restore and replenish card comes from your pile leader, is like you finally being able to rely on other people. And that also gives you time to replenish and rest from, you know, and maybe part of that is really it, pile 1. Maybe, especially if like you started a new business, just as an example, maybe it's really chaotic because you need to learn to rely on other people. Maybe consider, you know, if you're at this point, hiring someone to help you, hence teamwork, and giving like them a new opportunity, which also gives you an opportunity in and of itself. It's reciprocal, right? To you to rest more, but also an opportunity for a job for someone else, just as that example that might not apply to all of you with the business example. But in any case, don't be afraid to rely on other people. And also part of the manifestation is help from outside of yourself, if you're willing to receive it. Now, that's the key as well. If you're willing to receive it. So if you're hesitant on relying on other people, pile 1, please don't be. Okay, because the other people will help you, or even just one other person, it might just be one, in achieving these goals. But like I said, it's reciprocal in that it also helps them. It's you giving a key to them for an opportunity, and it's them giving a key to you to rest more. Okay? And that too can build your confidence, because sometimes, you know, when we're doing things in a silo or we're doing things all alone, we don't hear any feedback except our own. And sometimes some of the worst feedback you can get, I mean, it's good to listen to your own emotions, pile 1, but sometimes when we're too hard on ourselves, some of the worst feedback you can get is yourself. Because then you just get in this echo chamber of, oh, I suck. Oh, I'm not good enough for this. But if you have someone else involved, they can sometimes course correct those negative thoughts. They'd be like, well, you're not bad at this. What are you talking about? And it opens us up to that new perspective. Okay, so that'll give you like mental rest as well. And just so many different positive things. So just to summarize everything, pile 1, what's manifesting for you is the key to the success you've been looking for that's actually inside when you thought it was without. Rest from chaos, rest from worry, and some help coming your way, as well as new opportunities and a lifelong benefit of feeling more confident in yourself, which will open even more new doors for you, okay? So, short and sweet, that was your reading for today about what's manifesting for you. I hope you liked it, and of course, most of all, I hope that it helped you and it resonated, and if so, please like the video, please comment down below, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and as is our tradition, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, Pile 1. Hello there, Pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about what you're manifesting next. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to She Feels, She Knows as your pile leader. So what this card tells me intuitively as a tarot reader is this thing you're manifesting is something that I feel you've already been getting inklings about. Maybe you've been seeing signs and synchronicities. Maybe you've been kind of getting a little bit of a feeling in your gut of, I wonder if this is coming soon. Because this card is all about trusting what your heart says. It's all about trusting what your intuition says. And accepting that and welcoming that in. So I think that's part of what you're manifesting is something that, you already kind of have an idea about. But of course, we'll hear some more context with your other cards. Let's look at your tarot spread to begin, just to see more about what's going on, as well as where this is going. So, Spirit, please tell us more about what is this thing Pile 2 is manifesting. All right. First card today, or as I call it, the inciting incident in my spread, is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Look at that, Pile number 2. So what this tells me as a tarot reader is, as I said, it's like the inciting incident of everything going on. What was the spark that led to this path you're on towards manifesting whatever it is you're looking for? The Queen of Pentacles reversed says something about internal security, especially with finances or material things. So I wonder if recently you've been struggling with money or struggling with career-related matters, because the Pentacle suit in tarot, being the Earth suit in terms of elements, deals with those things. It's money, it's career, and then as a tarot reader, I also specifically like to read it for health and home as well. Maybe you've even having some issues regarding home or like paying your rent. It could also be, like I said, health in terms of maybe you've been kind of sick recently or had some sort of health scare, something along those lines. Whatever it is for you specifically, Pile 2, this is what the universe is saying this manifestation is stemming from, is a period of time where internally you weren't feeling quite secure with earthly things. Okay, so putting that down and then looking next at the recent past card, you received the Seven of Cups reversed. What an interesting twist here. So the Seven of Cups reversed often deals with realizing dreams from reality, realizing fantasy from reality, okay? Because normally upright, when you look at these cards, you can see this man is faced with many different options. We have a snake, we have a dragon, so tends to represent negative things, right? But then we also have positive things like the treasure in this cup, and then the laurel leaf crown, which means victory, things along those lines. Whatever it might represent to you in general, especially being reversed, Pile 2, it speaks of a time of like a dream shattering apart, like maybe related to these financial matters that have been going on, or, health, home, etc., career. It's like it broke a dream for you. You almost kind of feel like battered and bruised from it. You're like, I was hoping so much for this thing to come to fruition. I wanted this so bad, but then it's like the fog cleared and it's like, man, like that was farther away than I thought. I thought I was closer than that, or like these financial or health related, etc. things are something that's holding you back from feeling that security in your dream or feeling security in general, okay? It was like a realization of some sort. That's a really good keyword to use with the Seven of Cups reversed, is realizing something and you're like, oh, okay. This isn't going the way I necessarily expected. Now, let's look at the Heart of the Matter card, which is also the present position. We have, more Pentacles, more about finances and career, health, and home. Four of Pentacles reversed talks about releasing funds. Okay, letting go of material things. Sometimes it's even seen as like a Scrooge card, especially upright, because it's like, oh, he's holding on to his money, he's holding it close, which can be positive in terms of reserving money, which is great. It can also be negative in terms of holding on to money so much that that's all someone cares about, like the Scrooge comparison, right? But reversed pile 2. It's the release of funds. So I don't know if like right now you're working on getting funds released. Like I don't know if maybe it's like a job you've been working that hasn't been paying you enough and you're hoping for a promotion or like a raise of some sort to help with these financial struggles or whatever might be going on. It could also technically mean that like maybe you're applying for some sort of money grant, like in terms of like say a scholarship or like a loan to help you with releasing funds. Because of the realization of the Seven of Cups reversed, it led to this period of scrambling to get money released in some way, or security is probably a better term to use. It's more broad for everyone watching this, right? I need security released, and that's kind of where you're entrenched right now is this energy. As I said, the heart of the matter, the present position card. Now, let's look into what's manifesting for you. This will be the last 2 cards of the tarot spread, and then, of course, we'll see more details with the oracle cards and Lenormand, but in terms of the near future pile, okay, well, that's beautiful pile 2. I was like, in terms of the near future, look at that. We have literally the Master of the Pentacles suit, the Master of finances, career, health, and home. Quite a stark contrast from that Queen of Pentacles reversed at the beginning. Your finances are going to turn around, pile number 2. I'm very glad to be able to report that for you, and I do see this is like the near future. So something is going to be released here in the present pretty soon that's going to fix whatever issues you've been having with security and stability. And the King of Pentacles especially, in the way he's different from the Queen of Pentacles, where she's more about like internal security and being happy with what you have. The King of Pentacles is about external security, so like actual tangible money. He's about like actual action taken or like tangible things occurring to solidify that security. Okay, also it means success in business, it means success in career. So like if you're looking for a promotion, I am seeing positive things in the near future with that, or a raise, same thing. If you have maybe lost a job, maybe that's what's been going on back here in the beginning. That speaks of, like someone releasing funds, aka hiring you to pay you, and then success there with the King of Pentacles. Also, if you are looking for a job and you've been interviewing recently, the job that you're getting hired for, a King of Pentacles, means that it's a pretty good job, right? It's a successful job. It's not going to be like one of those jobs where you're literally only there for the money and like everything else sucks. No, a King of Pentacles job is like a fantastic job in terms of satisfaction as well, okay? Excuse me. Now let's look at the final outcome. We already have a really positive outcome in the near future, and then we have the Chariot, another beautiful sign here, pile number 2, okay? The Chariot, now he doesn't necessarily mean financial or security related like meanings, okay? Not like the Pentacle suit does, but what he does mean is that as an outcome, it's gaining control over what was chaotic, gaining control over what seemed out of your control. It is literally like a charioteer taking the reins on life and going forward with that same control and with that same dedication and feeling like everything is stable now. Now I can drive this chariot forward. I'm not stuck and mired in these issues that we saw at the very beginning. These funds will release me, or security, I should say, to actually make movement forward. And that is what is manifesting for you, pile number 2. Now, like I said, we'll see more context with the other cards, but really fantastic things off the bat. And once again, leading back to your pile leader here, she feels, she knows. I think you already have an inkling as to how this is going to manifest, pile 2. Even if you've technically been ignoring your gut or intuition about it, because maybe you're like, oh, well, maybe I'm hoping too much, or, I'm just expecting too much because I feel desperate. Like, sometimes we convince ourselves that our intuition is wrong because we think, oh, that's too good to be true. Like, I'm just fooling myself. Well, in this case, pile number 2, you're not fooling yourself, because like, look at these King of Pentacles with next to the Chariot cards. Like, beautiful. Also, you have a lot of yellow in your spread, a lot of yellow backgrounds specifically, and of course, yellow represents joy. It represents finances, of course. We think of yellow with money, as well as, I know, green too, but happiness, success, things like that, and especially with all the pentacles that came out as well. So very career, finances, health, home related reading, but in general for all of you, no matter what category your problems have been technically a part of, you're going to find success and drive forward. things are going to get back on track. That's another really good phrase to use with the Chariot is, we're going to get back on track. We're back to the races, okay? We got the reins. Nothing's out of our control anymore. Things are going to be a lot smoother from here on out. Okay, now let's look at your Lenormand. Although that's already a fantastic reading. I mean, a lot of you probably are just smiling and could click off here, though, of course, you want to hear more, but... Also, I apologize if I clear my throat a lot. I've been having kind of a scratchy voice lately. I don't know why. I'm not even sick or anything. We have the Lily, okay. Huh. Which can mean fertility. It can also mean... Well, let's look at the other cards for context. Oh, how cute. We have the heart. And then we have the child, especially the girl specifically. Okay, interesting combination of Lenormand cards. Now, typically you read Lenormand like a sentence, almost like each card is a word in a sentence. So reading this together, pile 2, especially for everything we've seen so far. For those of you looking for a job, I don't know if it has to relate to children in some way. Like teaching, of course, is the prominent example, childcare. Helping children out. That might be one way that manifests because, literally you got the child card. And the Lily can represent sexuality on one hand, but especially with your reading that's been so much about career and finances and things like that, I almost read the Lily as, like I said, fertility. So for a fertile matter of the heart that is youthful. I almost wonder if this has been part of a dream you've had since you were a child, pile 2. And maybe that's why you feel it in your gut. You feel it in your heart. I'm getting a sense of, like, this is something that you've been wanting for a long time, like, even since you were young. And it's like you're finally manifesting whatever this is. This financial success and then control over the chaos. And direction and drive. What an interesting Lenormand spread here. And it's like it just took time for that fertility to grow in terms of like it being the exact right conditions for this success to grow. Especially too because, when we think of the Pentacle suit, as I said, it's the suit of Earth, which we think of like plants, gardens. I mean, even when you look at the Queen of Pentacles and like the King of Pentacles, there's a lot of greenery around them. Also, for those of you where this is like a health-related matter, though I don't always read on health because I'm not a doctor, this is a really good sign if you're looking for pregnancy. We have not only the fertility, but we have the child card, okay? So that is, maybe some of you are looking to get pregnant or your partner to get pregnant, in which case, like, this might be what's manifesting. Like, maybe you were having some issues before, and then all of a sudden, boom. We have, fertility of the heart with a child. Okay? So that's another way that this might be manifesting for you. But there's something to do with children or like a youthfulness. That's another way that the child card can represent itself. Interesting. Let's look at your other cards. Sometimes the context of the other cards makes things all the more clearer. So let's pile these up here and then look at your oracle cards otherwise. So Spirit, anything else you want to say about what they're manifesting other than, well, the already amazing things that we've talked about? Fantastic success, right? We have the Goat and the Willow, overcoming obstacles. Okay, so I apologize, this is a bit repetitive, pile 2, but there's been an obstacle that's been in your way for a long time, and it's finally clearing. Okay, it's finally getting out of your way. So I don't know what it is you've been struggling with for so long. I mean, like I said, I know with the other cards there's been the context of probably career or health or home related things, but at the same time, like, it's like finally getting this breakthrough after having not had a breakthrough for so long. Like, maybe you even felt, especially with that Seven of Cups reversed we talked about earlier, of like the fog parting from the fantasy and revealing reality. It was like you felt like it was impossible. You felt like, oh, there's no way. But then in the present, that release comes here with that Four of Pentacles reversed. Something's released, and then boom, look at the success and the drive. overcoming obstacles. And then willow trees I always think of as being symbolic of water, because they tend to grow through or like near water bodies and like rivers and streams and stuff. And of course we think of water as a place of fertility, right? Also water of the womb, once again, if some of you are looking to expect a child or have been trying for a child, right? Like, I wonder if you, especially that she feels she knows, I wonder, like, you've been having an inkling, I bet, pile 2. You're like, I already have an inkling, and this reading is really just kind of confirming it to you. Like, yeah, your inkling is right, but... And water, too, like, going back to the willow example, can represent, at least in cartomancy, emotions, feelings, relationships, especially with the heart having come out. We have community in number 56 with runner guides. Okay, community. Interesting. So for some of you where, like, it's a job-related thing, especially related to children, like, say, teaching or childcare, something along those lines, it's like finally finding a community that's supportive of you in this, and I think maybe that's part of what gets this going with the King of Pentacles and the Chariot success of, the finances and then, like, things moving forward finally. It's like finally getting the support you need. And then also, too, I mean, once again, like, some of you are trying to build a family. Like, that's just, once again, it's like you're finally building, like, your little community. In terms of, like, I don't know if some of you, especially those of you wanting to try for a child, like, I don't know if this is, like, your first child or that you're trying to bring into the world. And then, of course, too, we see the greenness again. And blue, too, just like the water, which makes me think, once again, of that fertility with the lily card. And then once again, like, willow represents water because, they grow near water. And so even the way, like, their leaves grow, kind of, it's like flowing like water. And so, we think of water and greenery as, like, healing, and that fertility, like I said, we think of it as, like verdant, lush land, like a metaphorical Garden of Eden. After having felt like things were so bare before. It's like you're walking through a desert, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's this lush garden, this oasis, and you're like, where has this been all of my life? I finally found the oasis. And it's like, you already know it's there, but like right now, it's like, I think you think it's a mirage. It's kind of like that metaphor of walking through the desert, and you see it in the distance, and you're like, oh, that's just a mirage. I'm just seeing things. I'm not going to listen to my intuition. But then finally it comes, and you're like, oh, there really is this lush garden here that I've been looking for, this community that supports me, loves me. And so, too, for those of you looking for a job, this means, once again, like I said, a King of Pentacles job is a great job. It's also going to be a great community in terms of, like, coworkers, too. So, look forward to that, too. Like, excuse me, just a very supportive type of workplace. Which maybe is part of, like, why you left your last one, or, like, even if you were let go, like, it wasn't necessarily your choice, you'll realize in retrospect, thank God I was let go of that last one, because even though, yes, I was worried about my finances for a while, I technically dodged a bullet, and now I'm in a much better place, okay? Something that, like I said, you might not realize until afterwards. Hindsight's 20/20, right, as we always say, but... Yeah, so just to summarize everything, pile 2, supportive community, overcoming an obstacle you never thought you would, something you have an inkling about, but you're not necessarily listening to your intuition enough, and something that brings a lot of prosperity. It's a release of some sort, especially of funds, and then, like, other material type things that brings you to prosperity with all those earthly things we talked about, materials, jobs, health, home, and then finally moving forward with that Chariot. We broke through the obstacle, like the Goat and Willow says, and then finally we can snap the reins and off we go to the races. Okay, so, especially if things have been feeling kind of stagnant lately, like it's like, things are kind of murky, nothing's really moving. It's going to finally free up soon. It's going to be like a stream thawing in the spring. Like, oh, things have been kind of still, kind of icy, and then things warm up, and then there we go, flowing a lot faster than before. So, beautiful reading today, pile number 2. I hope you liked it. I hope most of all, of course, that it helped you and it resonated. And if so, please like the video. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, pile number 3. Welcome to your pick a card reading about what you're manifesting next. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the pile leader of Beyond the Mind, the Heart Beats. So, first thing I really notice when I look at this card, especially intuitively, is it speaks of listening less to what our mind says and more to not only what our heart says, because, obviously it says heart on the card, but also what our instincts say. Because we see this person, this woman, who is, it's like she's finally closing her eyes, almost in a meditative posture, and she's looking deep within, and she's surrounded by all this natural imagery. So she has leaves, she has a bird's nest, feathers, shells, etc. But there's also strands of DNA. So I think this manifestation is related to something that is more like something on an instinctual level, and especially with the DNA, it makes me think for some reason of like generational trauma. I know from what at least the most recently I heard that even generational trauma can be stored literally in our DNA. Like when our ancestors have gone through really difficult times or difficult things, sometimes that puts an imprint on our DNA to have slightly a little bit influence our personalities to like adjust to those generational traumas in terms of survival. Okay. So I almost wonder if this is family related or ancestry related, pile number 3. And 2, it's like tuning into the universe outside of just like what our present 3D mind says and understanding in a way that we as humans, so stuck in our 3D world, unplugging from the 3D world to understand more about deeper things. Okay. So I know that was quite more on a spiritual level type of explanation, but we'll see more about the tangible with your tarot spread. Beautiful card. I love that card. Let's do that right now. Speaking of, let's grab your tarot cards. But I think your manifestation is coming somewhere around those areas. So family, generational trauma, an ancestor message that kind of might technically even be an ancestor message for you today, but let's see. If the 10 of Pentacles flies out, then I know it's an ancestor message for sure, but we will see. So let's see what Spirit has to say about the context of where this manifestation is coming from, as well as where it's going. So first card I like to call the inciting incident in my readings. We have the Page of Swords reversed. Now, speaking of letting go of the mind, the sword suit in tarot tends to represent the mind because it's the air suit. So the way we think, the way we communicate, the way we logically think through things. Okay. And especially a Page of Swords reversed represents someone who's exploring thought, but in kind of a negative way or like a negative pattern of thinking. It can also mean someone who is immature in thinking in some way. I want to actually get some more context on that before I explain more about it, but that's at least just the general meaning of it. Let's look at the recent past card to see. Okay, we have the 7 of Pentacles. Trying to get something started, get it off the ground. Planting seeds for the future. Interesting combo here, pile number 3. I'm going to pause just for a moment as I look these over. You might be similar to pile 1 today, pile 3, where I think you're trying to get something started off the ground, or like off the ground, I should say. And in terms of how it relates to family or like ancestry is like, I think it might be something that like your family wanted to do or like your ancestors wanted to do or did. But for some reason, they were never able to complete it. I think that's what that Page of Swords reversed means. It's like they never had the ability to follow through for some reason. Like life always kind of pointed them in different directions. Like other things became more important, so they let the dream kind of go. But then it's like a culmination of this generational dream of some sort. And it's like you're starting the seeds. And I think you already technically have started whatever this is, pile 3, because this is the recent past card with the 7 of Pentacles. You already planted the seeds in the recent past. Even if it was something just as simple as, oh, I have an idea today. I wonder what I should do with that. Like maybe you heard about something from your family or your ancestors, something that they wanted to do, or something that they used to do that got lost over time. That, too, can mean what the Page of Swords reversed is, like, losing the knowledge of something and having to explore it again. So it could be something even, like, as a reclamation of sorts that got lost in over time. Okay, let's look at the present position. And then we have Judgment reversed as the present heart of the matter. Interesting. So, Judgment reversed can be what it means on the 10, literally a negative judgment of sorts. But I tend to call a Judgment card as also like the level up card. And reversed, it's like not being able to level up or get to the level that we want to attain. So I think this is kind of where the manifestation is at least stemming from in terms of context, pile 1, or I'm sorry, pile 3. You're pile 3. For some reason I called you pile 1. I think it's because you're very similar to pile 1 today. They had the 7 of Pentacles as well. And so Judgment reversed, like I said, is like you trying to attain something, but it's like you're not getting quite there yet for some reason. It's like something's holding you back. And I think it's because, and this is another way that the Page of Swords reversed can manifest, is like you're trying to think through it too logically and not enough with the heart or with what you instinctually know from your family and your generational inheritance. It's like, you're like, I want to get there, but there's something blocking me. Okay, let's look at the near future card, get more context. We have the 10 of Swords reversed. Okay, overcoming a time of hardship, overcoming a time of feeling stabbed in the back, because, like, literally upright, quite clear. He's quite defeated. There's storm clouds overhead. But reversed, it's like we're finally recovering from that time of what we thought was defeat. So, I almost wonder, pile 3, if you thought there's no way I can reclaim this or go through with this. You tried to get it started, but it feels like you weren't able to get it to the next level or to the point that you wanted to get it to. But then in the near future, it's like something comes along and you realize, oh, this isn't the end of what I'm trying to achieve. I'm not defeated. Because that's another way we can phrase the 10 of Swords reversed is, oh, I'm not defeated. I haven't been, like, this isn't the end yet. It's almost like, I like to use narrative storytelling terms in my readings a lot because just me personally, I like using writing metaphors, clicks with me. And the 10 of Swords reversed, pile 3, is what we often call in narratives like the dark night of the soul. So that's a point in a story where a hero comes to their absolute lowest. So it typically is after the midpoint, kind of before the climax of the story. And it's where the hero feels like all is lost. I'm completely done. I've been stabbed in the back. I have no resources left. This is completely done. I failed. That's another term that you can use with the Dark Night of the Soul is I failed. But the beauty in this card for you, pile 3, is you didn't fail. And that's what a hero realizes in a narrative too. That's when they kind of round up the armies or round up their resources and then they go on. They're like, oh, there is a hope. There is a chance. And then they tackle the villain of the story or the problem of the story in the climax. Okay, so that's kind of where you're going to be in the near future. You've had this Dark Night of the Soul, especially with Judgment reversed, after you tried to do something. And then, like the hero in a story, you have that dawn after the dark night, and you're like, oh, I can move forward with this. So if you feel like something that you've started recently or that you've had an idea for recently is something that you can attain, especially if it's related to family or ancestral-related things, pile number 3, you're going to do it, I think. You're going to make it. But let's look at the outcome before I say anything for sure. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. And I tend to read reversals or like technically negative cards in a reading like this as something that's going to change for the better because we're talking about, well, what's manifesting in terms of kind of like a more blessing type of context. And so an Ace of Cups reversed in a reading like this as an outcome to me, pile 3, represents a time of like new water springing, okay? Because literally like it looks like a fountain. Like water finally flowing free. Everything is generous. Like literally my cup filleth over. Okay. 2, especially if it feels like you were lacking emotional support, especially being a cup suit card, because the cup suit is all about our feelings, our relationships with other people, even our relationship with ourselves in terms of our heart. It's also the heart suit. It's like rallying that after that dark night of the soul. Of, because we have the literal understanding of like, oh, I'm not done yet. And then we have the internal understanding in terms of our heart of, okay, now I realize I still have resources to tackle this and keep trying. now my heart finally rouses and understands, and I feel encouraged and ambitious in this direction once again, okay? Same thing, too, if maybe there's something related to, especially because it's a Cups card, like I said, it is the suit of relationships as well. Related to, like, a relationship of some sort for some of you. And I mean that both in the romantic and platonic way. It might manifest differently for every single one of you. But an Ace of Cups reversed in a reading like this, how I would rate it, is like a new, like you thought you met someone new, and like it didn't work out well, but then it does, because it's like the reversal is what changes and what manifests. You know, interesting. I'll see what the other cards say, but I know, and it seems like it's completely out of left field, pile 3, but there's something else here about like a new relationship. I wonder if that's part of what makes you realize that it's not all over. Like, this person encourages you, or like maybe they initially discouraged you, and then now it's like they come back and they're like, well, wait a minute, I was wrong. I was wrong to discourage you. Excuse me. My voice is a bit scratchy today, so I apologize if I clear my throat or cough a bit. It's very odd. I'm not even sick, just for some reason my voice is dry today. It's also very odd because I live in a very humid area in the summer, so I should not be dry-throated, but I am. We have the Sun. Okay, so that's about happiness, about clarity and truth, just like it is in tarot. We have the Clover. Beautiful. Look at this, pile number 3. Very positive Lenormand cards so far. And then we have the Lily. Wonderful. So reading that in a sentence like we traditionally do with Lenormand, pile 3, I would almost interpret it as, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry it's repetitive, but it's clarity on your luck with the fertility of something. Oh, you know, in that way, you're kind of like pile 2 today as well. Interesting. A lot of communal themes in this community this week with, like, thinking something was done, but it's not. It just took extra time for the universe to help you manifest it. Clarity with luck, with fertility of something. Also, the Lily can technically represent older generations in our family, so clarity on the luck of family or older generations. Speaking back to that ancestral-related thing or family-related thing we saw with your pile leader. Also, happiness and luck in this area. So, I mean, not only am I seeing, once again, just another confirmation that it isn't the end for this pile 3. You still have places to go with this goal in mind. But it's also, it's like finally your family or your ancestry is getting luck with this thing. I don't know if you're like breaking a generational cycle as well. Like maybe, like some generational cycles can be like, oh, my family has been poor for a very long time. And then, but I worked really hard, like the 7 of Pentacles, to break out of that. And now finally I have wealth. Or it could also be like family generational trauma. We were always held back for, insert reason here. But now I'm breaking that cycle. It's finally a fertile time for me to break that cycle. Interesting. Pile 3. You have a really, really cool reading. You might be my favorite pile today. But let's look at your oracle cards as well. Anything else, Spirit, you want to say to pile 3 about this manifestation of theirs? Excuse me. The Boar and the Pumpkin. Confidence. Okay, so we associate pumpkins with harvest. So, I mean, I think literally if you look at, I could be wrong, pile number 3, but at least I've grown pumpkins before myself. And when I look at that 7 of Pentacles, especially because of the big leaves and like the vines, it almost looks like he is growing pumpkins in this card. So it's like those seeds you planted for those quote unquote pumpkins, which, insert whatever your goal has been here, finally coming to fruition here with the pumpkins, or the Boar and Pumpkin here with this card coming out. It's like, okay, the pumpkins were seedlings here. Now with this fertility, like the Lily implies, they're finally at the time of harvest. And then, of course, too, we associate boars with being very confident, right? They're not shy animals, right? They're very, I hear they can even be kind of violent sometimes. I know that's more, at least in where I live in America, like the southern U.S., I think, has like wild pigs or wild boars. Where I live, they don't have them. But I've heard sometimes they can be kind of aggressive. And so, yeah. That's why you'd associate them with confidence, too. So not only is it something that's going to bring you prosperity in terms of, like, breaking this generational trauma, it's something that's going to bring you confidence. like, I don't know if like, your family's been kind of downtrodden a lot over the generations, and it's like finally you break that cycle and it gets that confidence, like being the shining beacon of success in your family with breaking whatever this was. Interesting. Okay, and then let's look at your final card here from the Ask Your Guides Oracle. Anything else you want to say, Spirit, to pile 3 about their manifestation? You're getting your confidence back. We have retrieval. That is so cool, pile 3. You know why? Because it's like you're retrieving something that was lost. Remember I said before, it's like either like your family was doing something and then they lost the knowledge of how to do it, and it's like you're retrieving it. You're regaining that knowledge. Or like, even if it's not knowledge, like it's, not feeling so downtrodden, or not feeling like maybe once you had wealth and then your family generations went through a time of trial, and then it's like you're retrieving that wealth, or whatever it is. Whatever your family has lost, pile 3, you're the one breaking that cycle. You're the one retrieving whatever it was that your family didn't have. Okay? Especially, like older generations with the lily. Like I said, that's like the older generation card. Oh, that's so cool. It's like a reclamation of sorts, of confidence and success with whatever this was. So, I mean, that's quite straightforward, pile 3. I suppose it's kind of repetitive with the retrieval cards, so I apologize if I kind of retread some ground, but basically, to summarize your whole reading today, it's you thinking you failed at something after you planted the seeds for it, related to family or generational trauma, or like family goals and dreams. Having a dark night of the soul, and then realizing, oh, this isn't all lost. I can retrieve this. I'm going to have luck and success with this. I'm going to have the ability to do what my forefathers were unable to do, or what was taken from them. You're going to be able to retrieve it. And it's almost like a harvesting of karma, too. And then gaining your confidence back, getting your family's confidence back. Yeah, I almost see you, pile 3, as a really pivotal member of your family. Like, when you listen to stories from your family about ancestors of yours that really stand out prominently because of either like their personality or the things that they achieved, I feel like that's going to be your legacy. It's like very much a reading of a manifestation of legacy here. And you're going to achieve it soon, of that legacy. And then, yeah, we also had that relationship-related thing, too. Let's see if there's any more context with that, with the other cards. I almost wonder if someone helps you with this, and that's what helps break you through. I'm going to do just one more tarot card on the Ace of Cups reversed, pile 3, just to see context with that. What do you mean by that specifically with this relationship, Spirit? We have the 9 of Wands. Okay, feeling defeated. And I'm sorry, it's once again, it's repetitive, but sometimes that happens in tarot. Feeling defeated, but being able to bear through the drudgery of feeling like we're wounded and we can't keep going, but we go forward anyways. It's the card of determination is probably a better way for me to summarize that. I wonder if someone rouses your determination. Like someone new in your life. I think they give you the inspiration to keep going at it, pile 3. I mean, outside of this tarot reading, obviously, but like someone literally like in your physical life. Maybe that's what the boar and the pumpkin is. Maybe they're a very confident person. And it's like they inspire you. There's something about this other person coming in and like inspiring you to keep going and being determined with this. Like they say to you, well, why wouldn't you keep going with that? Like, why not? Just keep going. Keep trying. It's not the end. I mean, so whatever it is, pile 3, keep going, no matter what. Keep going, because I see a lot of success here. Retrieving what was lost. Okay? Beautiful reading. Wonderful. I'm happy to deliver that news. So, if you liked the video, of course, please, and well, of course, most of all, if it helped and it resonated with you, that's what I care about most with your readings, right? Please like the video itself, literally. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.